Howdy all, this is Shane. Thanks so much for checking out the last blind test between the Eric Clapton Tremolux tube amplifier from the custom shop range at Fender versus our preset that was supposed to sound a lot like the Fender Tremolux, which was a combination of things which you can download from the link in the description. Rick and I spent maybe 15 minutes trying to get it to sound as similar as we could, and then it got to the point where we couldn't hear the difference. So the majority of replies that I got on YouTube and Facebook all said A was the Eric Clapton Tremolux. It was the Mustang, believe it or not. People liked the tone of the Mustang more. Not everybody though. There's obviously some people that are gonna vote the other way, but everybody, all my friends, Dr. Rick actually thought his Eric Clapton amp was A as well, because I didn't tell him the order I'd put the video in. So yeah, that's a true testament to how these amps are sounding. So the main reasons I do these tests, for those who don't know, is I like to just rely on your ear and whether or not, if you take your eyes out of the equation, you're gonna come up with the right answer. Sure, in a room, certain amps will sound different to each other, but mic'd up and in the room in this case, they both sounded exactly the same. Neither of us would be able to tell which amp was which if we weren't looking at them. So that's a true testament to these Mustang amps. They're cheap. It's about a quarter of the price of the Clapton. And I'm not saying the Clapton's not a good amp, because it absolutely is. It's a totally rocking amp. But we managed to emulate that on an amp a quarter of the price. So you can imagine that saved that preset. It's going to be available for download, and it's basically just the sound of the amp. We put a tape delay in that Rick liked, and I think I put an overdrive pedal in there, and it's got like a vibrotone kind of rotation speaker thing. I know the Eric Clapton amp has a sort of lopsided tremolo effect, but we've just done it that way because it sounded cool. Yeah, it was pretty funny to know in my mind which one was which. And when I told Rick, he was pretty shocked that he guessed it wrong. And it's funny because everyone said, oh, A had more character, it had more clarity, it had more this, more that. And A was the transistor amp, or the amp emulation amplifier. So yeah, very cool. And it's ball-tearingly loud too. I had it on about 2.5, 3 in that room we were in, as well as Rick's amp was up to the point where it was sounding that sweet breakup kind of tone. So thanks again for everyone who gave me feedback. The videos hit 1,000 views, so up comes the answer. So yeah, enjoy. See ya.